Hello there and welcome to yet another video on the Nederlab onderzoeksportaal. This time around we are going to look at a more complex search. For this search it would be highly advised to log into your university account and then connect to the Nederlab onderzoeksportaal. I will tell you why later. First, let us determine what we want to do right now. What we want is to look at two prepositions used in Dutch. One is called naar and the other is called na. Nowadays in modern Dutch the difference is pretty clear, but back in the day they weren't. Research by Nicolien van der Sijs has pointed out that in fact naar has gradually risen and taken over some of the meaning that was previously attributed to na. Now, how would you go about searching for evidence to support such research in Nederlab? For that we have to build a more complex query. So let's first define the relevant time period you want to look in. Of course, let's have a look at the period from 1300 until, let's say, 1750. This is by far the most interesting period of time for the change in meaning that we can find. And now we have to build our query. This query cannot be built solely with advanced search, but we will use it to start. So first we want to look for a preposition. Let's say we're going for na first. Well, we shall also have to tell Nederlab that this word is a preposition. Perhaps not for na, but if we want to use the exact same query for naar, naar can also be an adjective. So it's good to specify as much as possible. So we want a noun phrase to follow na. Now we can't look for noun phrases, so we have to construct the phrases ourselves. These can start with an article, or they can start with a pronoun. They might have an adjective in there, but they always end up with a noun. Now, since we want only the noun to be a certainty in this query, and we are not sure whether we want any of these, not all noun phrases have them. So what we do then is we edit the query manually. So we go to this text box and we start typing. So in order to indicate that we want maximally 1, possibly 0 articles, we're going to have to use the curly brackets and then specify 0, 1. This indicates that we want either 0 or 1 articles in this position. Since we want the same for pronouns and adjectives, we can copy that and place them after. Do note that the moment you start editing anything else in this field, the self-typed specifications in this box will disappear. So you have to do it over and over again. A way to prevent this is to copy this, go to expert search, and just type it in here. From scratch if you can, or just copy it here and then do all the editing in this box from now on. So let's do that. Let's go and search. Alright, so there are our results. We have results spread out over 2.7 thousand documents, which is more than I expected. And as you can see, we searched for the lemma of na. And there in our results is one naar, which is an interesting discovery. So very possibly that all the versions of the word naar with the meaning of present-day na might have been labeled with the lemma na. Unfortunately, this is something that will have to be dissected manually by going through all the results and analyzing them one by one. What you can do if you want is to go to groupings and sort everything by lemma. What you do then is you gain an overview of the most prominent noun phrases following the lemma of the word na. You can use these to analyze, well, perhaps more trends, if you will, some frequent trends following the word na. If you do the same with nar, you could compare the two and have an interesting distinction. And there we are. As you can see, there are quite a lot of results. Ooh, 56,000 hits, that is a lot, but we've made it here. If you want to, for instance, look at this one, you can click it and there will be a list of keyword in context examples of this thing that will help you for closer inspection. Alright, so let's save this as a corpus because it will give you interesting data. And we might have to go back to it once we go to the other query. Now we saved it, so we're not going to edit this particular one. Let's call this tutorial for na. Oh, I'm sorry. Na. And we save the changes. Well, there's also a lot of interesting things you can spot by going to timelines and visual overview. Of course, we want the relative hits. And you can see that the na and noun phrase occurs much more often relatively in the, well, late medieval period than it does in the early modern period. Okay, so let's leave this one behind for now and let's completely search again. So we go back to expert search, we paste our old query and we change the lemma to naar. And we do this again. Oh, we might have to re-specify the period, and then we go. Alright, so here are the results. A significantly smaller size of documents featuring naar and the noun phrase. And what's this? There's even, as you can see, we looked for the naar lemma, but we get na as a result, which is interesting, which again is possibly a usage of na that would nowadays be attributed to naar, and therefore has been given the naar lemma. That's a very interesting way of going about it. So unfortunately, as you can see, this is a lot. In order to dissect them again, you have to go through the list personally and analyze everything individually. Now we have this, we can do the same thing. We can go to groupings and sort it by lemma again. And there we are. Of course, it's a much smaller list and the hits are not nearly as much as with the previous query, but it works the same. And you can also save this corpus for further inspection. Let's call this one tutorial for naar. So save. All right, well that kind of ends this tutorial. Of course, it doesn't end here. The real research starts by looking at all the results manually, and you can do some collocation assignments, study the statistics to get closer to analyzing the data. But for now, the main work from Nederlab is done, and the rest will be in your hands. Thank you very much for watching this video tutorial for the Nederlab onderzoeksportaal, and until next time.